have pasted the YouTube link in the chat. That is where the recording will be uploaded, but by 10 or something. But I'll recommend you to watch in the Meet only so that you can get your doubts addressed. That will be better. Okay. So I think VSS, you're good to go.
Yes. So hello everyone, welcome to Python Odyssey bootcamp. Here we are going to learn from fundamentals to web development. Everything would be covered. So the overview, the Python Odyssey is basically a 7-episode bootcamp designed for basic beginners to get confident in programming. This series will essentially cover Python concepts as object-oriented programming and web development using Flask framework. The duration is 2 weeks, scheduled alternate days. The sessions lengths would vary depending on the instructors from 1 to 1.5 hours. Total, we have 7 sessions. Let's go through the episodes. First episode is the Python Awakens. The topics included are introduction to Python, data types, variables, and operations, hands-on coding exercises. You will have challenges for every episode, so make sure you are attentive till the end. The challenges here include asking usernames, age, and printing messages. The second episode would be on loops and logic, that is the control unit. The topics include control flow, that is if and else statements and loops, functions, modules, practical examples, and debugging. Here, you would be
These
able
are
to
just the
write
challenges
Python.
that will be, these are just the example challenges that might be given to you. The activities you'll be finding out better when you actually see the questions. So, yes, basis.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take over. Episode for episode 3. Yeah, present the slide.
Uh,
Uh, Object oriented mastery, that is the third episode. You'll be learning more about the classes and the objects. You'll be learning how to create and use objects efficiently and the real world examples of Hoop and Python. So that is, you can see the challenge. Yes. For the fourth episode, okay, files and functions, the data keeper, file handling functions you have, I think in your week and 9 and 10 and the Python intro to Python course as well. But here you will learn in a more detail way, advanced function concept, real world use cases. Yes, yes. Let's go to fifth episode, VSS. Flask Unleashed. That is something that is not covered in the intro to Python course. This is something very new that you'll be learning here. To the introduction to web development with Flask, setting up a Flask project, creating basic routes. Everything, all these will be helpful for you in your Madman project if you are doing. Yes, for the sixth episode, dynamic web magic, using the templates in Flask, handling forms and user inputs, creating interactive pages. All these will be covered in the sixth episode. And for the final episode, VSS, connecting Flask with databases, putting it all together, and you will finally be able to build a mini web project after that. So this is our aim to help you get to that level where you can create a mini web project. Okay. So yeah, that was about the episode, guys, and there is a special thing about leaderboard. The activities that will be given to you, right? So based on how correctly you do that, how quickly you do that, what time you take, there'll be an leaderboard maintained of top 25 or top 30 students, and that will be displayed. That will be monitored regularly, and those people who actually finish in that top 20 to 25 will be further given the certificates or maybe some sort of rewards as well. So do look out for that. And yeah, that was it about this. Platform will be Google Meet only, no Zoom. And for the coding environment, what we can suggest is VS Notebook, Jupyter Notebook, or Google Colab. Google Colab, I've been using that. And leaderboard will be maintained on Google Sheets or any other custom build feature that will be discussed later. So yes, that is the outcomes, but you already know about it. So without wasting any other time, let's move on to Vardhan.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, Vardhan.
Yeah. So before I begin, I will just introduce myself in few lines. My name is Vardhan Kumar Rai. I'm currently a third year student at CMI. I'm doing my bachelor's in maths and computer science. Along with that, I'm pursuing this online degree from IT Madras. I'm currently in my diploma. So along with that, I like to do research work in game theory and complexity theory, especially algebraic complexity. So yeah, so I will be the instructor for this bootcamp. So let me start sharing my screen. So please, can you guys confirm is the screen visible? Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Oh, since actually there are a lot of people in this meet, so I would prefer that you ask things on chat or raise your hand, right? Otherwise, it will become very chaotic. Yeah. So before I begin, I would like to ask you, how many people are from foundation and diploma? So the thing is, for if you are in foundation, give a thumbs up. If you are in diploma or something above that, give a thumbs down. Okay, so most of the people are from foundation, as I can see there are a lot of thumbs up. Okay, so now my next question is, how many people have taken Python? Give a thumbs up if you have taken Python. Thumbs down if you have not. Not taken also includes like you're currently taking Python, by the way. Yes, the number is slightly more than yes. The last question. Sure. So today we are going to just do the basics, mostly the basics. But the basics which we are going to do today, it's also applicable for other languages, right? But we are going to use the syntax from Python. Yes, so let me just write. This is episode 1. So the most generic question we can ask in the beginning, if I'm learning a language, what is that language, right? So what is Python? Can somebody write in the chat? Yes, Rajiv is asking what is the agenda of the bootcamp. The agenda of the bootcamp is that you can learn Python from like from scratch and which are relevant to make a web page. That is the main purpose. Yes, correct. That's a nice answer. Python is a programming language. But what kind of programming language? Yes, I'm getting very good answers. So first is it's object-oriented programming language, and it's a high-level language. And somebody wrote it's a easy to learn language. I can agree on the fact, like in the beginning, learning Python is much more simpler than learning other oops oriented language like Java. In order to learn Java, you need to know not many things. You can't just write a simple print statement, you will get it. You need to know much more to even write a scratch program. Right? So it's a oops, it's object oriented programming language, and it's a high level programming language, and it's interpreted. Right? So if you guys have used Collab, not just Collab, any like Python compiler you have seen, like when you run it, right? So when you run it, you get the error instantly for that line. So these kind of things are the part of an interpreted programming language. So whenever a programming language is interpretable, that means it reads the code line by line, and if it gets stuck in some line, it stops running it. That's all. But some other language, I'm not sure, like other compiler-based languages, like one is QBasic, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong very well. So compiler-based language, like it will try to run everything and try to see what errors could have happened, and it will tell at the end all the errors, all the possible errors. But interpretable language, uh, as soon as it gets there in some line, it stops running. That's the point. But nowadays, even Python, like in some of the resources, in some of the like interpretation and compilation, they give the option to uh, run the code like a compiler. But that's a different thing. But originally, it was interpreted. So a trivia. So do you know when was Python created? When was Python created? Like what year? Like a rough estimate. And there's no point of searching and telling me, by the way. Okay, it's 1991. Correct. Okay, 1994. Sure, it's 1991. And how did Python become so popular? There should be some reason of that, right? Somebody wrote in the chat when I asked what is Python, they told it's easy, right? So it's easy. It's easy in the sense it's easy to start with Python. Easy to start with Python. It's not easy to understand or easy to learn. It's easy to start. There's a difference between these the words which you're using. It's easy to start with it. After that, obviously, all the facilities are there which are in other programming language, which makes it much more complicated later. Yes, it's a beginner-friendly programming language, correct. So why do we use Python? This full degree is mostly based on Python. There are some other languages as well, but it's mostly based on Python because the full data science system currently is highly based on Python. So there are so many libraries in Python which help you to do, which has like all the code, all the algorithms in efficient way. It has been stored there in libraries which are the part of Python. That's why it's used a lot in data science, right? Right. So I will start with some basics of Python. So today's session is mostly about basics. So yes, Ashish, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one basic doubt. Python is interpreted one, sir. So you said it was quick, but in total time consumption, which one will be quick, compiler one or interpreter one? Because recently I watched a lecture in that sir said that C++ is faster than Python.
Yes.
So
So
that's
in
why I'm
that way,
asking.
it's
I
not
don't know
about the
exactly.
interpretation or compilation thing. It actually depends on that, but much more than that, it's the way the program is written. So I will tell you something. I will just take 2 minutes. I will just deviate from what I wanted to start with. So there's one language known as Rust, right? So in Rust, it's so safe. Like in Python, you can literally write print and it's correct. You will print it. But in Rust, in order to just print or even add something, it is so much complicated because it needs to define the data type. After that, that addition is safe in the sense it's valid or not. So I'm just being little vague here. So sorry for that. It means it's much more complicated in the sense it needs to put safety. It only allows some kind of data types. But in Python, you can do anything. It's much more easier than Rust. One second, somebody wrote something. Yes, somebody wants to say something. Somebody raised a hand. Okay, never mind. So yeah, so the thing is, other programming languages are much more complex. That helps them to compile it much faster, or interpret them much faster. Because like if you want to do this, there's certain way, certain safe way which will be followed. But in Python, because it's so dynamic, the nature is very dynamic. I forgot to write that. It's very dynamic. So because there's so many possibilities, so in order to capture that, it takes much more time for Python to interpret or compile. That's the main reason. But this is a very broad idea why it is, right? Yeah. So as usual, what is the first line we write in Python? Let me open a collab file as well. Just give me a minute. So what is the first program we write in all the languages? Yes, correct. Hello world. Anybody knows what's the history of this printing hello world? Try to search it. It's a very nice history. Like why whenever we write the first program in any language, we write hello world. There's some kind of history. It's just like why do we say hello when we call someone, right? When someone picks up a call, when we call, we always say hello. There's a history behind that as well. Okay, Aditya, might be just search it. It's a very nice thing. Let me open my collab. Open your notebook. Sorry for the delay. Just give me 30 more seconds. Can you see my collab file screen by the way right now?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yes, thank you. Yes, so as everybody said, the first code we write in any language is print, right? Printing something. So print hello Python, right? But okay, I'm printing something, but there are a lot of other things. It's not just writing. I'm not just writing hello Python, right? Let me just run it as well. So in order to print it, as you can see, I have to write the word print. Then I have to put two brackets, right? I have to put parentheses, this parenthesis at the beginning, opening parenthesis and close parenthesis, right? So there is some purpose which is known as syntax. Every language has some syntax which helps you to do something whatever you want, right? Similarly, like let me write a very simple code again. Okay, let me do addition. X is equal to 5, y is equal to 4, but equal to, that's the subtraction symbol. Then I'm printing x plus y. So what are x and y? What is that equal to? What is that bracket, right? So why I'm using those kind of things to specify something? Even in maths, why do we have notation, right? So why do you have some notation in maths? Why do you have? I have a doubt. Is okay. Let me just open the chat. Let me see what's the question. I will read the question. I have a doubt. AI is developing day by day and are capable of writing codes too. Is it useful to learn programming languages for a career? So that's like a very philosophical question, at least for me, in the sense currently the amount of software engineers we need will just continue to decrease. But we need to know the ideas, like why is something happening. Like this, sometimes currently the AIs are pretty good, but like at some very complex systems, they're not very capable of identifying the error or finding a better solution. So in that way, we need to know. But I'm not sure about in future. Like I think in 5 years we don't need to code. That's just my view. I can be very wrong. In 5-10 years, there is a possibility we don't need to code. There are very slight possibility, right? And it's my opinion. It's not something I'm saying as a truth, right? So as you can see, I have written print, then I've written x, then I've written y, print, then bracket, right? So what are these things? Does anyone know what is print? Just what is the word print? What do you call that in any language? If you have a word which has some special meaning.
Keyword.
No, just the word print. Just the word print in any language. Like a special word in any language. It's a function, right? It's a function, but yes, it's a keyword. The word print itself is a keyword right now. And yes, it is used as a function as well. So whenever you put a bracket around it, it becomes a function, right? Yes. So yeah, a lot of people know about these. Yes, it's an inbuilt function. So what is an inbuilt function? Anyways, we will do things. We will talk about functions in detail later on. But functions are just like a mathematical sense. In a mathematical sense, it just takes the input and it gives out an output, right? So here, print x plus y. It will take the input. It will first sum x plus y, and it will give it to the print. And at the end, I will see something on the screen. So as you can see, this function is doing something much more than just a normal function, right? So instead of giving a value, it's showing something on the screen, which is I think much more complex. But still, it's a function. Yes. So let me write another code, a very small code. With something you can see in this line, Python allows you to declare variable like this. Declare and initialize, right? You can write it. Yes. Madhura, do you want to have something? Yes. Somebody raise the hand. Okay. So yes. So Python allows you to initialize and declare variable like this. You can just write the variable like a comma b comma c, and you can initialize them. So declaration is writing that variable within just writing that variable. In some languages like Java, you have to also declare. So in Java, you write int a, int b, then int c, then you write a is equal to 2. But in Python, you can do declaration and initialization together. I will come back to notes also where I will write these stuff. So you will have the notes as well. Whatever I'm saying, you will get that, right? So I want to, so my point is, I'm writing this code. Yes, somebody raised a hand. Yes, you can speak.
Sir, you didn't tell us the history of the word love.
That's your homework. You should search about it. Yes,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
yes. So I want to print maximum of a comma b comma c, right? Then I will print minimum of a comma b comma c. So one thing I already told you, right? Print is a function. You guys were telling me. I did not tell. You guys told me in the chat like print is a function. And here again inside the print, I have another function known as max, right? It's taking 3 values and will give me, as the name suggests, I'm not telling you it will give maximum. As the name suggests, I'm just predicting it will give me the maximum a comma b comma c, right? In some way. But they're different in some way. Print the function print and function max and min are different in some way. Let me just print it. Let me just run it. Yes. So it gives me the maximum and the minimum. That's all. But as we will go forward, we will see how print and the print function, main function are different, right? So let me come back to my notes. Just give me 30 seconds. And feel free to ask doubts, right? So some people were raising their hands, but they did not say something. So you can just, if you're raising hand, you can just unmute yourself when I ask you. So my notes app is open now. So I wrote about print, right? Print something. Suppose I just print hello. Then I declared and initialized 3 variables, and I just printed something, right? I printed the map. So there's so many things going on here. Suppose I also print a plus b, right? So we are going to learn the syntax, like all the things which we have written on the screen right now, the comma, the colons, not the colons, the equal to sign, the comma, then the parentheses and everything, right? So let me mark those. So there is one name as print. Then we have this thing, hello, quoted inside double quotes, right? As you can see. Then we have A, B, and C. Then this equal to sign. Then these numbers, right? Then we have this thing. I won't be discussing in detail about the difference between print and max today, but we will do that later. So for today, we're going to see like what are the different things which form this language. So in general language, like English language has a lot of words, right? Which we match somehow to make a sentence, like the way I am speaking. Similarly, Python has these kind of things. And here I have plus, right? So as you guys told me, keywords. What are keywords? They are words with special meaning. Right? And what are variables? So A, B, C, as I told, are variables, right? Which somehow tend to point towards, okay, let's not complicate it right now. So variables are something which takes some value. But in general, when we talk about math, in math, when we write algebra, right? When we are using symbols X, Y, Z or something, we don't put values, right? So there is a difference between how we use variables in math and CS as well. So what happens in CS is, if I have a name variable and I have some space in the computer. So here is a space in the computer, like the CPU, which has stored the value 3, right? And this variable A will just point to that space. It's not pointing to that value, pointing towards that space, pointing towards. And this interpretation changes according to the language. So if you are doing some other language, this interpretation, like what does the variable do, changes. But it's obviously different from math. Math, we never talk about like actual values, but we know if the variable, if I put these set of values in that domain, like natural numbers or real numbers, it will work. But in computer science, these variables just point towards the space where the value is stored. So here, this A points towards the place in the CPU, which has stored the value 3. Right? Is it clear till now? Can you give a thumbs up if it's clear? Yes, nice. Yes, I have not gone into too much of detail also. Yes, so do you want to ask something?
Will we get the recordings of this lecture?
I'm not sure actually. You have to ask the operational team.
Yes. Yeah. The recordings will be available on Sundar YouTube channel. Don't worry about that.
Can you share the YouTube channel link in the chat section?
Okay, it is there on the chat box. I'm sharing that.
Thank you. Yes, so variables are just names associated to spaces which has stored some value, right? Those are just variables. Right, so we talked about what are keywords. Suppose here, okay, I have not used those kind of very weird keywords like if and for, like not weird, the more general keywords. If and for are much like a better example of keywords. So if and for, we will do that in the next lecture, the conditional statement and for loop. So these are keywords which have some specific meaning. You can't use them for anything. You can't just make a variable out of it, right? Yes. So one more thing I have written here, which is this equal to sign and this plus sign, right? So we have some operators. These have some functions. Okay, let me just write it more clearly. What are operators? They perform certain kind of operations on something, and this something differs a lot in the way, as you can see, equal to, right? This equal to symbol, if you see, there's some strict condition what I can put on the left side and what I can put on the right side, right? So this is known as assignment operator. This is known as assignment operator.
Sir, I think the operators in Python are same as like in C
I'm
language.
not completely sure, but the basic ones like arithmetic, comparison, logical, and assignment are pretty much same.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you are right.
that's what I'm saying.
Sir, many
Yes,
of them are
most of them, not
same.
many, most of them are same. Yes, but not
Most of
every,
them, yes.
not every operator which is there in C is in Python. Not every operator which is there in Python is in C. There is a difference, but most of them are same. Like the basic ones which we use in general in programming, that all things are there.
Yes.
That is not just for C. In general, like C++, Java, Rust, in every language, these things are there.
Every language.
But you will see like some symbols are very different, right? I will talk about that
Oh,
in a few minutes. So yeah, so this is an assignment operator. So I need to have a variable on the left hand side, and I need to have an expression, right? So this expression is something. If we calculate it completely, we'll get a single value, just something, just a single data, right? So in this expression, what is a plus b? Suppose I make b is equal to a plus b. This is a variable, and this is an expression, right? So this expression will be evaluated to the sum of a plus b, and this will be stored in some space, and d will point towards that, right? That. So this is the operator. This is the assignment operator. Similarly, this sum plus, I don't know, maybe it's called as addition operator. Operator, addition operator. I could be wrong with the name, but okay, for now it's addition operator. So how is it different for assignment? You can only add things which are of the same type, right? In the sense, can you add a string to a number?
no.
Can you add a string
No.
to a number which is in form of a string?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can do that, right? So it's the
Yes.
same type. And yes, please try to write things in the chat if it's possible. Otherwise, like if 2 3 people are talking, it becomes like they're talking becomes very chaotic. I can't hear anything, right? Yes. So they need to at the same time. Okay?
Sir, we are adding constant plus variable, right?
No. Here, see, a plus b in a plus b. The thing is, this a is pointing towards the number, integer, right? An integer which is 3, and b is pointing towards an integer which is suppose 4. So it will add 3 and 4, and then it will store it somewhere, and the variable d will map towards that way. That's all. That's the point.
No, sir. For an expression, constant plus variable is an
Constant plus
expression, right?
variable. Yeah, that is also an expression. That is also an
It's an
expression, but
expression.
variable should hold something which is of the same type. That's all.
Acha.
This is a constant. Suppose it's a constant. Oh, I did not mention 3, 4, 5 are constant. Yes. So
That's what I'm
constant
saying.
some number and variable. If it stores something of same data, same type. So do you know there is like a full field of type theory, which is like we don't do that at least in like very application side, but there's a full talk of type theory. Especially there's a programming language named as Haskell. You should get time, try to read about it. It's a really nice programming language. We did it in the first time in CMS. So it requires you to write a type of everything. In Python, that's the issue, right? Why we take so much of time to process things? Because it's so dynamic. Anything can happen. That's why we need to check all possible cases. But these kind of languages so much like they know what I have written is of this data type, so it knows what to do with that. That's the point. So we have talked about like some basic structure of syntax in Python, right? We have done keywords, variables, and operators. I will do operators in a slightly more detail afterwards. But before that, I want to ask, do you guys have any doubts?
No, not now.
Okay. Okay, then it's my turn to ask the question. Let me see if I have a question right now with me. Yes,
Sir,
it's
I have
there.
a doubt. Like we have data types in variable now. Like, can we create a constant of different
What do
data?
you, could you repeat your question once more?
Like other than int,
Sorry, could you
can we do
repeat your
anything?
question once more?
In variable, we have various data types now. Int, float, string. Similarly, in constant, we can create only
No, the
integer
question
now. We
itself is
can't do
like
any
very
other.
flawed in the sense constants are of some type. Variable just follows the type which whatever value that variable takes, right? So type is always associated to the constant, and whatever that constant value is taken by that, whatever the variable takes that value, it becomes the type of that variable becomes that. So in Python, as you can see, if I write a is equal to 10, then again I write a is equal to hello, right? So these things are possible in Python, but like other languages, not. So in the sense earlier, because the type of the constant 10 is of int, right? So a will become of a type integer, and similarly hello. See, just like when we write in math, right? X belongs to real, or X belongs to, suppose this is the set A B C D till Z star. So this is just a different notation we use in CS. So this means all the words which can be formed using this alphabet. So see here, this is a string, right? This is a string data type, and here let me put Z instead of R. These are integer. So here X is of the type integer and X is of the type string in the second example. So variable just picks up the type of whatever the constant is, right? That's the point. Does that make sense to someone who asked or whoever asked that question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me just check your. I have not talked about that data type, so let me just check your. I will check your. I don't know what to use, but okay, fine. So the question is, what is the type of this? Write it on
Float.
the chat, by the way.
Float,
Write it on
float,
the
float.
chat. Don't.
String.
Okay, people are writing correct answers now. Yes, it's a string, right? Can you see this double quote? It's of the type string. If I had just written 3.0, it would have been float, right? So I feel you guys know about strings and float. So I know like what to discuss now. So there's something known as complex numbers. Yes, yeah, I got the answer. Yes, everybody knows it's a string. Yes, right. So we talked about integers. So we talked about integers. We talked about, you guys know about float values, and you know about strings now, right? So there are like two other basic data types in Python named as complex values and Boolean values. So more than complex, Boolean are much more important. So Boolean values, right? So in Python, it is true or false. So there are only two types of Boolean values in Python: true or false. But something you need to know: T is capital and F is capital in Python. In some, I don't remember. I'm not very sure. I think in Java or C, the spelling of true and false are like small. I'm not sure. So just to verify that, in Python it is capital. The capital it's capital T and capital I. So there are only two Boolean values. How many string values are there in Python? Can you tell me? How many strings? What is infinity? No, that's another question. You're telling me as a math student. So right. So it's, I will just tell it's countably infinite.
Sir,
Number of
I
integers are
think
also,
two types of.
What do you mean by
yeah,
countably
okay, that would
infinite?
be a different talk. So for now, just assume it's infinity. But there are different notions of infinity now. So just assume it's infinity for now, right? But float values are in Python, they are countably infinite, but in general, the decimal values, the real numbers are uncountable, right? So in Python, it is countably infinite. So try to think. It's not the part of the things. It's not part of the things we want to do in future in these episodes. But just if you get time, just try to think. You can just search about uncountable infinity and countable infinity if you get time. Otherwise, just focus on what we're doing, right? Yes. I was just asking in general. I don't want to like put it in as a part of the lecture. Yes. Right. So we know about Boolean values, floats, strings, and int. Now we also have complex values. You won't see these like usage of this complex value like until you start working in higher dimension or something. The complex value are just written as some value, suppose 3 plus 4j. So do you guys know what are complex numbers? Right? So for people who don't know complex numbers, it's just these are just numbers of the form a plus ib, where I is a it's a fixed number which we are it's yeah it's the square root of 5, square root of 1. Sorry, not square root of 5. It's square root of 1. So that's how, but in Python, we denote it as 3 plus 4j. So you need to remember, we use j, not I, right? So one thing you need to know. Somebody wrote or and XOR are also in Boolean value. Depends. See, or or you can think it takes Boolean value, but XOR you can work on integers as well, real numbers as well, right? So or mostly we talk about Boolean value related to or, but for XOR we can work with integers as well. So what we do, we just do bitwise operations. So for we just convert the number integer to binary form, and then we for each bit I do XOR. So in some way it's like a binary value only, but I'm doing it for everything. Even and the XOR can be done on integers as well. Yes, Harsh.
Yeah, I have to ask that I have completed my Python, but we have not been taught about complex, how to use complex
That's
number in
completely fine.
Python.
I can guarantee you won't
Can
be
you
using that till
elaborate?
diploma. Yes, but like if
Okay.
you want to XOR,
But we can use complex number
yes,
also in
you can use.
Python.
So okay, I don't know. It will just deviate. So I will just start a
Thanks.
very small question. Difference between real and complex numbers with respect to operation. So there is some operation which I can't perform in complex numbers. Can you tell me? I'll just take a minute to answer. There is one operation which I can't do in complex numbers, but I can do that in real. That makes it so different. Even though it's like I'm just writing two real numbers, right? So this is like somewhat equivalent to writing two real numbers, which can be grouped as square. Yes, the thing is division. Division is not there. That's all. Yeah.
Comparison of numbers.
Yes. Comparison. But okay. Okay. I can write, but you can compare in some way. But for now, comparison not possible. So there is a theorem that you for any set you can make a total ordering. That's a different thing. Let's not talk about it. So comparison is not possible in complex numbers. Right. So now I will again go back to coding something. Right. So I discuss about operators, keywords, and variables. So this is just for the first lecture that we are right. I am writing a lot of things in the note. But after this, like when we go to like higher episodes, it would mostly be coding, but I will also write. So for today only, I'm writing a lot. That's fine. Let me just start sharing my screen of collab. Okay, so till now, is it clear whatever I told? I did not tell you a lot of things, but I told you a lot of trivia. That's all. Yes. But most of the things I told till now are not very related to Python. So episode 1. Yes, thank you. So it's clear. So now I want to start with string manipulation, right? It's one of the most important things we do in Python. String manipulation. Spelling of manipulation, I think it's this. I'm really bad at spelling, so yes, so string manipulation. So one thing, how many days this bootcamp will happen? There are 7 lectures. It will be done by February end, last week of February, right? So string manipulation. So if I have a string V Vardhan, suppose, right? The first thing I would need is access the character, right? Access some character of that string, right? So how do I do that? Suppose access first character. I can name this variable, looks very weird. So I can write as 0. So one thing which is very important in Python, indexing. Like not just in Python, is there in a lot of other things, math, CS. So indexing means for each the position of that something, I associate a number, right? So here there are how many letters? 7, right? So for the first letter, I associate a number named called 0, and for the second letter, I associate a number named as 1, right? So indexing, associating a number to the position, right? So in Python, something which people make mistakes, something in which people make a lot of mistakes is they assume the indexing is from 1, but I start numbering things from 0. So 0th position is the first position in the string. And even a list, when we will do list, we will see that as well, right? So accessing the first character can be done by v0, right? Let me just print it as well, v0. It will just give me capital V, right? So suppose I want to print. So now the question I want to ask you guys is a very simple question, nothing complicated. You have to help me print VDN. Can anybody tell me what it should be the code? Okay, the prompt told me already. Sorry for that, but try just using only the fact like I can only access the index. I don't have string splicing, right? Just the accessing of the index. You should not use string splicing. You guys are using string splicing. So people who are writing things in the chat, they're using string splicing. I don't want that. I will come back to that. Then you can tell. But for now, yes, correct. Somebody wrote the answer. It's v0, but not comma. I want it to be contiguous, right? It should be plus. Again, I want to stress on the fact that I can only add things which are of the same type. So it should be v3. Let me see if it's the correct answer. Yes, correct. See, it gives me VDN. But there's something you can see. There is no code. What do you call it? Codes, right? So whenever I print something in Python, when it gets printed on the screen, the codes vanishes. So whatever I print on screen are all string. Even though I'm printing a number, I'm not printing 10. Suppose I want to print 10. I'm not printing 10. I'm printing 10 in codes where the code just vanishes. In that way, like the things work in computer science, at least the application way. Right? So now I'm going to talk about string slicing. So what is string slicing? Let me think how to tell this. Okay, let me go back to my notes. I think that will make it more clear because people usually have a lot of doubts and string slicing. I would like to do in slightly more detail. I hope you guys can see my notes screen now. Yes. Yes. Let me do string slicing. Duration of the lecture is 1.5 hours, at most 1.5 hours, but I will finish it by I think before 9. Right? String slicing. So for string slicing, if I have a string f, I have 3 variables which I write like I, j, and k, and each has a special purpose, right? So this is the parameter 1, parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3 separated by semicolon. So you need to know this way of doing string slices, right? It's very important. It's used a lot. When you will do like machine learning also, you will see these things are used a lot. Accessing something or slicing something. So I is from where you start, and what something which people make a mistake a lot again is like instead of yes, somebody written start, stop, and step. Yes, that's a nice way to write it. Thanks for the thing, start, stop, and step, right? But in Python, where you end, right? But this ending is not at j, it's at j minus 1. So we will see that, right? And case does a step, how many steps you take. Suppose this is a string, right? So suppose my I is starting from this is the ith index, and my step is suppose 2, right? And my j suppose okay, let my I be yes, correct. So we wrote end part is not included. So if I write j, I need to stop at j. That means I need to stop at j minus 1. Yes. So these points are very important to remember. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So I is suppose 2 and j is suppose 7, right? So I will go to the second index, right? Then I need to jump to 2, like I need to make a jump of 2 units, right? So in general, case by default, k by default is 1. That means you will just go forward by a step. If k was 1, I would have gone to 3. But because k is 2, I will go to 4. Then I'll go to 6. But as soon as I go to 8, I see it's even though it has already surpassed 7, that's also one of the reasons. But if suppose I was starting from 1, right? Let me yes, that would have been a better example. Suppose I was starting from 1, right? Suppose I'm starting from 1, I go to 3, I go to 5, then can I go to 7? I want to see like if it's clear or not. Can I go to 7? No, right? Because I can only go to j minus 1, which is 6. That's all. Yes. Let me ask a very simple question. Suppose question S is Python. Let me just write it, then you can write the answer. Yes. So these are question 1, 2, and 3. Right? So for the first one, what should be P, right? Capital P, by the way, not small p. It should be capital P. What about the second one? This is something which I've not talked about. It is the small n. Right? So one thing again, which people get confused, even though my indexing from the forward direction is starting from 0, but when I go from the backward side, like starting from 8, I write minus 1, right? So my indexing is like minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, minus 5, right? So when I start the indexing from the back side, like the rightmost element, I start indexing from minus 1, but when I start from the leftmost side, I start indexing from 0. And for this question, what are the indexes I will access? I will access 1, 2, and 3. That's all right, which is PTH. Sorry, YTH. Yes, so people know these things pretty well. Yes, so that's all I want to do in string splicing. Yes, and let me come back to the collab. So yes, and I think it's pretty much clear to everyone. So I will now pick a different topic. Done in notes. So just write it here as well. So is it clear to everyone? Yeah, okay, people are giving thumbs up. Done in notes. So now I will do dynamic typing. So I already talked about dynamic typing. Does anybody remember? Like while I was talking, I wrote somewhere something related to dynamic typing. Oh, by the way, spelling is wrong. Can we type it if they remember? So declaring and initializing ABC as 1, 2, 3 is not dynamic typing. Yes. If somebody remembers, I wrote A is equal to 10, then I wrote A is equal to Python, right? Python or hello, whatever, right? So here originally, when someone asks like, what is the data type of the variable? So it just takes a type of the number of the constant it carries, right? It points towards in the space, right? So this is dynamic typing. This is not allowed by many programs, like many programming languages. It's like it's something in Python which makes it slower as well. So initially it was an integer. The value 10 is an integer. That's why the variable A is an integer valued variable. So it was an integer. But then in the exact next statement, I just made it a string, right? So this thing is known as dynamic typing. So I can change it manually. Change the type manually. Let me put a hashtag. Yes, somebody raised the hand.
Yeah. Generally in C and other
Mm-hmm.
programming languages, we give the data type as int. We'll give the data type, but here you're saying we will dynamically change. The question is, for an int, there's a specific size. For a float, there's a specific size getting allocated. How does
Yes,
this happen
again,
in Python
you just
in
need to go back
internally?
what I talked about.
So how
So
would this change?
variables are something which point towards some space, right? Right? It's a named location to be specific. So
Correct.
originally he was
Pointers.
pointing towards a space which had stored the value 10. But now that arrow has just switched to a place which has stored the word hello, right? Yes.
Okay, so every time the new memory is allocated and then the
Correct, correct.
pointers
So
are
this
getting
A is
changed,
equal
is
to
it?
10. So wherever the 10th thing was stored, that will go to a garbage location, right? So these kind of things are studied in
Got it.
compiler design. If you were interested, you can study all these. What happens in Java also, as I said, C. I'm not very much aware of C, but in Java also I write int A, then I write A is equal to 10. Right? So in that way, I allocate a location, allocate a memory in the location where I can store that value. But in Python, it happens very dynamically. So that also makes it slower. So this is the dynamic nature of variable one second, of variable type in Python. Yes.
Got it. Thanks.
So I already talked about operators. Actually, I'm also checking my notes, what I wanted to do. Let me see what else is left. Okay, operators also. Okay, let me just talk about operators. That would be one of the second last to third last topic for today. Let me start with operators. So we already saw about assignment operators, assignment operators, not operators, assignment operator and an arithmetic operator, which was addition, right? So we already talked about assignment operator, which is the equal to symbol. By the way, are there any other assignment operator in Python? Because I've seen like most of you guys have done Python, so I want to ask people who know. Who know?
Plus equal to,
Yes,
minus
correct.
equal to.
Plus equal to, minus equal to, similarly multiplication equal to, and division equal to. Yes.
Division equal to.
Shorthand operator.
Yes, these are also known as shorthand operators. Let me write that as well. Thank you for telling. Somebody wrote exclamation equal to. By the way, that is not an assignment operator. You will see. This is a different class of operators. So these plus equal to. So if I write a plus equal to some constant, suppose 2, this is equivalent to writing a is equal to a plus 2, right? So that means there's some arithmetic operator here and I write 2, suppose, is equal to writing A is equal to A, that arithmetic operator 2, right? You can put plus, minus, multiplication, division, right? So this belongs to plus, minus, multiplication and division. That's all. So these are assignment operators. Then we have comparison operators. Somebody wrote exclamation equal to, right? So that is a comparison operator. Yes, Roshni.
Sir, can you say the second one,
This
second
one?
example again? Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay, I got it. So I used some notation. This is not in Python. So A something, some operator, some arithmetic operator equal to 2 arithmetic. It's just A is equal to A. Apply that arithmetic operator to. Suppose I can put a multiplication here, right? I can put a plus here or a division or a minus. Anything you can put. That's all. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So now I
Thank
will
you.
do comparison operator. One second. Let me do some more. Yes. So comparison operator, one of the example, people are giving me examples now. It's less than or equal to, greater than equal to, before that there is less than and greater than, right? Then have the equality symbol. So that's very different from math. Like, I was like really confused when I started learning languages. So if double equal to is there, then I have not equal to. This is not equal to. So when I write in math, I can usually write A equal to B. Then I put a question mark something. So I can ask is A equal to B, because assignment of something is not very involved in math. I just write it belongs to that, right? But in programming, assignment is a very crucial part. So that's why I have equal to symbol for assignment and double equal to check whether things are equal, right? So that's the point. Then I have logical operators. I think somebody was writing logical operator in the chat. So there are a lot of logical operators, but in Python, currently what I know, there could be many, are just and, or not, right? So and or and not. So anybody knows the precedence? Precedence means if we are given these symbols around some value, so there is some sequence you need to follow. This is just like bond mass, right? Precedence. The precedence is not and or. Yes, somebody wrote the correct answer. Not and or. This is something which if you remember it's really nice. I'm not sure about the course, but in general it's used a lot. Right, so okay, I have done arithmetic. Okay, I did not write arithmetic operators. So the basic ones are just plus, minus, multiplication, and the slash, which is division. It's in Python. This denotes multiplication, so like the cross. Okay, somebody else puts NAO. N means not, A means and. Okay, sorry for that. This is this. Right? That's all. Okay, let me ask a very small question, then we'll come back to arithmetic operator question. T means true, by the way. T is equivalent to true, and F is equivalent to false, right? For now. What is int of T, not F and T or F? Can you tell me? I also don't know. I just made it up at this point, so I also have to solve. By the time I made a mistake, I just realized I made a mistake, and I need to find that out while writing this. People are giving the answer, but answer is not possible.
Sir, not
Square.
and F capital. Not
Exactly.
is not capital.
Exactly. Not is not a binary operator. Binary means a binary operator means which takes two inputs and gives one answer, right? But not is just a unary operator. It's a unary operator. That is something which is important. Unary, and these are binary. Correct? So let me just drop the T and just write not F. Now tell me the answer. I don't know how are people writing the answers, but now that was not possible. So let me just do it. So okay, people are writing true, one, true. Let's see which is the answer. So this will give you true. True and true will give you true. True and false will give you true. So true is the correct answer, right? No. We have written int. Int of true is 1 in Python. And int of false is 0. This is known as type conversion in Python. I will tackle that at the end. So int of true is 1. This is the correct answer, right? Yes. Now everybody is writing 1 suddenly, but okay. So let me come back to arithmetic operators. So we talked about the basic one. Now we have this. Yes, somebody raised their hand. Yes.
Sir, generally we initialize variables with true or false now. Like, can we
Yes,
initialize
you
them
can.
with 1 or 0 also? Means they mean boolean or integer. How to
One second.
specify
So
that?
as you said, so if I'm not wrong, you're asking if I can write 1 and 0, right?
Yeah, generally, suppose if we want to give a variable boolean value, we write true or false. But can we write 0 or 1 instead of
Okay, let
true
me think.
false?
Okay, you can write 1 and 0. Let me just tell you what is it. If you write 1 and 0, you should get false, right? But it will give you 0. It will work like the boolean thing, but it will give an integer value.
No, sir, I'm
Okay.
not talking that. I'm telling like generally in Python, if we write code and we want to give a variable boolean value of true or false, we write true
Yeah,
or
you write like this.
false
Yes,
now.
correct. Like this.
Can we write a equal to 1 and b
Yeah,
equal to
why
0
not? You
like
can
that?
write. But you won't get, but you,
But how it will recognize boolean
yes,
or
so in order to,
integer?
you need to convert that. So if you're working only in 0, 1, you will get 0, 1. If you're working in true, false, you will only get true, false. You need to convert. Yes, somebody wrote bool. So you need to write bool.
Sir, at default, what it will
Whatever,
take?
okay, so if you're using true and false, it will give you true and false. It will be true and false. If you have integer value, it will have integer value. That's all. Nothing else.
Okay, to specify
Yes,
boolean, we
exactly.
should write
Exactly. That's
bool.
all.
Default one is
Default one
integer.
is not integer. Default one is not integer. Writing int of t gives you 1. That's all. It's like converting a boolean value which is true
If
to
we
integer.
write c equal to 1, then it will
This is
take
an integer. This
what,
is an
sir?
integer,
What
by the way.
data? Okay.
Okay, that's a good question. So it's again about date type, right? So and can take two values from true or false. So this is the domain this, right? It takes two inputs, either true or false, but it can also take values 0 and 1. That is possible, but you can't just put any number. That's the issue. It has to be 0 and 1. Right? Is it clear? Yes. Okay, I'm not sure. Like, can you guys verify? I think so. And might also give you the minimum. Okay. Let me just write. It's a very nice question which you asked. So and can also correspond to minimum in some way, right? So do you know the truth table of and? Let me just draw it. 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 1. So here is the and of these. So this is 0 0 0 1, right? So can you see it's like the minimum, right? It's minimum of whatever the variables were. Minimum of 1 0 is 0, minimum of 0 1 is 0, minimum of 0 0 is 0, minimum of 1 and 1 is 1, right? So and in some way behaves like minimum. Yeah. So these things, I think somebody wrote quantum and stuff. I did not reply that time. So these things are used a lot in quantum, like how and works as minimum, how or works as maximum. Or is maximum, by the way. Yes, you can interpret as multiplication as well, yes.
Sir, similarly, is there anything for not?
I'm not sure. Okay, so okay, instead of 0 1, if I take 0 1, if I correspond it to minus 1 and 1, right? Then it's just a change of symbol. It's like multiplying the minus 1. I'm not very sure, so I don't want to comment on something, but if you correspond 0 and 1 to minus 1 and 1, it will just the negation of the symbol. That's all. Usually, like some of the problems in like coding theory and something, you convert it into minus 1 and 1, the problems become simpler. Even in quantum, if you like do actual like theoretical quantum, you will see like quantum is theoretical only right now. I decided that was the wrong word. So they're also in Fourier analysis and all these things. I use 1 and minus 1, not 0 and 1. Yeah. So these are just trivia. These nothing details and everything. Okay, I think a lot of people are writing some doubts. We got true or FSC. Let me see. Are you guys talking about this? Yes. So just see. Let me just do it. If there are like I might have made an error. That's very possible. So this is true, right? Then this thing will give me what? True again, right? So true or false is what? True again, right? And integer of true is 1. That's all. Is it clear? Right? Yes. Then yes, right? Okay, I was talking about arithmetic operators, but I deviated a lot. Yes, the plus minus multiplication things are there. That's all. Then I have this. Sorry. Then I have this percentage symbol. What is it? Anybody knows?
Modulus operator.
Right, it's modulus operator. If you write A modulus B, you will get A mod B, so it's just like remainder and divided by B. Right? And similarly, I have double star. So that's how like I was in the beginning when I learned Python like 9th, 10th or 11th, 12th. So I was confused. Like usually in math, I write like 2 power something or something like that, right? In some of the languages, you can write this power symbol like this. So I was slightly more confused. In Python, we use this symbol for exponentiation. Exponent. So I will have 2, this 3 will give me 8, right? Right? And similarly, okay, people are writing the other arithmetic operator. I'm coming. Just wait for a minute. That is double slash. So what is double slash? It's flow division, correct. So flow division, okay, there is no space there. Just give me a second. Yes. Yes, Urvashi.
How to convert this like in integer, not f and t or f?
I couldn't understand.
Like the question you have mentioned on the screen, just about the solution, you have written convert
Yes.
it into integer, right? How to convert it into integer? Like we can print.
Yes.
Okay, 1 and
Yes.
0.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
got
fine.
you.
That's fine.
Sorry.
It's good to have doubts in the beginning than to at the end when you write something, right? Write something important. Yes. So double slash just means flow division. So if I have written 5 double slash 2, not double slash. If I had written, yes. If I had written 5 slash 2, I should get 2.5, right? But if I had written 5 double slash 2, I will get just 2. So whatever integer, which is whatever the largest possible integer, which is less than the actual division, I just print that. So what I told is greatest integer less than or equal to a divided by b. A double slash b is just this, right? Yes, it just gives me the integral part of the quotient. Yes, if somebody wrote what does a logical operator like 7 and 53 do. So I think he meant 5 and 56. So any guesses? I've already told the answer here, by the way.
Five.
1, sir.
7 and 53.
$53, no?
Okay, there's a lot of
7.
debate. Okay. Okay, I will come back to this at the end. Let me just finish the things I want to do. Yes, just give me a second. Yes, yes. People are writing bitwise, then error 7. Okay. Can we use float function? Yes, you can use a float function, but the float function is part of the math module. So you need to import math as well. Yes. But double slash is used for like integral, sorry, float division. That's all. Let me see what is the next topic I want to do. Let me come back to collab. Can you see my screen now? Okay, Anurag is asking something. Let me see. Can you explain float formatting? Sure. Let me finish up with the topic. But if there are like some topics which are left, you can just tell me also. I will maybe talk to the operational team like how to contact me or something in some way. So I can take extra topics also in the next class. That is fine. Yes. Because otherwise we will just get late, right? It's already 8:44. Yes. So let me do the last few topics which I wanted to do. One is type conversion, right? Which I already talked about. So type conversion. I already wrote something, right? I was converting Boolean to integer, right? So let me just write it x is equal to not false and true. Print int x. Let's see what we get. I'm not sure. See, it's giving me 1, which was the original answer, right? So if somebody wrote implicit and explicit, yes. So what kind of type conversion is this? Just think about the word implicit and explicit as an English word, not like some technical word. What do you mean by implicit and explicit? Implicit is something. Yes, explicit means forced. Explicit means you have to like explicitly tell something. You have to make it more obvious. Like it is happening. Like on the face, you can say, okay, it will happen. But implicit means it happens internally. You don't see that evidently until you try doing something like printing or something. Those kind of thing happens when I do like some multiplication with float and integer. Let's see. If x is 2 and y is suppose 3.5, and I print type is used to find the type, by the way. See, it's a float, even though x was an integer, but y was float. See, implicitly, when I multiply of some type which is of some higher, like some slightly more complicated, it gets converted to that, right? That's the point. So this is implicit conversion. And this is the explicit conversion. Explicit. Right? So explicitly you can see I am converting into integer, right? I can also do print str, sorry, it should be small, str of x. See, here this true is not a Boolean value. It has double quotes, by the way. So let me just show that as well. Print type of strf. It's of the class str. Str is a class which has like functions for string. That's all, right? We will talk about class and objects also in one of the episodes. So one more topic I wanted to do is f strings. These are like really nice way to write strings, not f strings, f, right? Suppose, okay, I will tell you the format of f strings first, then I will give an example. So Suppose I want to write a string f, sorry s, then f string is something. If you want to insert some value within that string, right, in some variable value or some actual value, doesn't matter. So I write f double quote, then I start writing something, write something, and insert something, something like this. Like if you want to use a variable, right? If you want to actually print the not print, store the value of the variable in that string somehow, you can use these kind of methods. Suppose insert something. Suppose there is a variable var. Let me just write var is equal to 30. Let me just print it also here in the code. So whatever the value of that variable var is, that will go inside the string and it will be stored. Formatted string, correct. That's the correct word. It's formatted string. So you're formatting the string in some way, right? Yeah. Is it clear what are strings? You just inside that curly braces, you insert some variable. That's all. Right? Let me see if there are other topics as well. And yes, if you want me to do some other basic topics, because there, in terms of basic stuff, there are a lot of things in Python which I can cover, which is not possible in one lecture. But if you want me to cover something, and if a lot of people ask me about that, I will do that in episode 2 at the end. Even before, because it's just for loop and if loop mostly, right? So let me do some problems on like actual coding things, right? We don't have that much time. I'll try to do it in like 5-10 minutes. So I will write the question. Yes, Urvashi.
Please scroll it
Yes.
up.
You want to see implicit and explicit?
Yeah. Actually, here, did you didn't mention it now? Like one for true or zero
Yeah.
for
So in
false.
Python, if I write integer of some Boolean value, so it's like kind of a function you can assume. Int of true is 1 and int of 0 is false. That's the thing. That's how Python works. Yeah.
Okay, and what is the precedence order for arithmetic operations? Like sometimes we get questions in which we get addition, subtraction,
Broad math.
multiplications, all the symbols togetherly. Do
For
we
four
use
symbols like
board mass there?
addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction, we use broad math.
And what about the floor division
That's a very
and the
good question.
modulo
I also don't
sign?
remember the precedence. There is some precedence, but I don't remember that. Yes.
Okay.
But there is like I don't think in like quizzes or something if you're talking about in like uh as a course wise like quizzes and all, I don't remember getting these kind of questions where I have to take precedence kind of thing. Because this is remembering stuff. It's not like something nice. They're not asking something nice. So usually they don't ask these kind of things. Right?
Okay.
Yes,
Sir,
sure,
I
sure.
have a doubt. Sir, in our code which we have written, what
Yes,
F
F
stand
stands for
for?
formatted string. If I write a F and there is a quote after that, like quotes after that, that means it's a formatted string. So as you can see, this F is of a different color, right? So Python has some meaning to that F. It means formatted string.
Yes, sir. So inside it, we can convert
So
the variable
inside,
form
inside whatever
into a
inside the
string.
quotes, if I have a curly braces, so whatever I've written within that curly braces, it's usually a variable. It's usually a variable, and whenever that string is being initialized, the value of that variable is being put. So here it was 34, right? So 34 will go there. That's all. As you can see, yes,
Yes,
the
sir.
34 is there, right?
Sir, can we write double F also? Double
I'm
F
not sure.
or
Let me see. I have never done that. Let me see if that is the keyword or not.
So, can we do dynamic initialization in this case in the variable?
What do you mean by dynamic initialization?
That means the output is of
Yeah, sure,
user
sure. Input
choice.
output we can do. Yes.
Like very
So I can write. I have not done input and output. So I would like to do that in the lecture. But suppose it's the input. I'm inputting this and converting into int. Right. Okay. Before that, also let me clarify someone else doubt. Can I use double F? Let's see. I also don't know. 34. Let me use double F. See, double F is not a valid format in Python, right? Is it clear? F is for formatted. Yes, formatted. So it's like a keyword kind of thing, not actually a keyword, but somewhat a keyword. Yes, but double F is not valid. So let me come back to the dynamic initialization. Yes, Urvashi.
Sir, why to use it F function? Like we can do work without
Yes,
it
you can
also,
do
no?
work without it. I will take very good example in the next episode when we talk about for and loop. So when I want to print something, you will see like it's slightly better. Just slightly. It's not like very important, but slightly better. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's fine. If you have doubts, you can ask. That's more important than me just rushing with the topic. So let me just take a small question. Let me just think which one to take. Yes. So right.
Sir, I
Yes,
just
yes.
had a doubt. What is formatted exactly?
So
What does it
formatting means
mean?
like making changes, updating, right? So you're updating the
Yes,
string
sir.
in some way, which is more making it more dynamic. So whatever the value this variable takes, it will just put it there. So it's like editing that thing in some other fashion. It's not like the normal way, just just writing everything within the codes, but you can update or format it accordingly, like as the value of the variable changes.
Okay, so even if it is inside the double quotes, later on when the value of var changes,
Correct,
this
exactly.
also
It changes.
changes.
That's why I just said whenever you use a for loop, you still see like because the counter variable, the value changes, right? So it will help me to do that. Not it would just look better. That's all. Mostly it's just help you to make it look better.
Is this available in other coding languages also,
I'm not
like
sure. I'm
C and
not
all?
sure. I'm not the right person to ask that question. Yes. So write the function my max a comma b comma c, which returns the maximum value without using the function max. I had already used the function max, right? So without, right? Right? Is the question clear? You have to write your own function which finds the maximum. Right? So this will give you yes. So my question is there is a you have to make a function which takes three integer value a comma b comma c and returns the maximum value without using the inbuilt function max. We had used that in the beginning, right? So I was finding the maximum directly using this. It's an inbuilt function, but I have to write it. So I will, because we are not done function, I will give you the beginning. So I have to write like this. I am defining a function using def my max a comma b comma c. Yes, def means definition. So now I have to compare if a is greater than b and a is greater than c. What is the maximum? A, right? Elif. Again, I'm using the terminology from the next episode, but I think it should be fine. If b is greater than or equal to c and b is also greater than or equal to a, then return b. Else c is the maximum. Else return c. Right? That's all. It's a very basic question. I have not given a very big challenge, but yeah, I just wanted to code something more proper. Right? So now, okay, let me not do any more question. Otherwise, I have to again use for and if loop. Like most of the question which I have selected needs if and for. So I will just take some down. Yeah.
Sir, in the above code, you have defined input for
Yes.
taking input from user. If if we take input for more than two numbers, then the two digit are displayed. After that, no
Couldn't
digits
understand.
are
Like,
displayed.
if you want to input two numbers, then yes.
Sir, in the above code, variable var equal to input. Sir,
Yes,
run
yes,
the
sure,
code.
sure.
Please run the code. Sir, input the number three, four, five,
With gap,
six.
it will print 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes,
I guess. Oh, it's
sir.
giving me because it's not an integer, right? I have converted it into integer. Because it's like a string which has a gap. It's not a valid integer, right? If I had written 3, 4, 5, 6 without the gaps, it would have done that.
No, sir,
Yes,
without gap, without gap.
yes. So
Write
for that
it
there is a
without gap.
different notation. Like okay, sorry, but it might just make it complicated. Map to list.
No, sir, I am not saying 30,
Yeah,
34
yeah.
and 56. I am saying only
Ah,
write 3,
sorry,
4,
sorry.
5,
I'm really
6.
sorry. Three,
That's it.
four, five, six. Yes, see? Right. So whatever value
Yes.
that variable takes, it will just put that.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for that. I couldn't understand your question well.
So we can also
We can
give
give
list
list,
also,
but
no?
I'm already converting it into an integer. So list until the list is of single size, it won't be converted. Yeah, that's all. Any other doubts for today? I will just go over what I did today. I just talked about Python in general, then keywords, variables, then I talked about string manipulation, and I did string slicing in the notes. Then I did dynamic typing, type conversion, and a string. Yes, mostly this. There are some small topics which I will do in the next episode along with different parts.
So can you just explain string
Yes,
manipulation once
string
again?
manipulation is what? Manipulating is like you have to use something to get out to get something, right? In string manipulation, what I did some very basic stuff. First is accessing the character, right? So I'm accessing the character using the index. So I just write v and in square brackets I write the index. So that's how you're accessing the character. That's all. And then I can add also. I did the addition of strings because for addition you need both the things to be of the same data type, right? Then I did string slicing. That's all I did in string manipulation. So you can do list manipulation, tuple manipulation, any manipulation, integral manipulation. Manipulation just means using something out of that data type. That's all.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Anything
you.
else? I actually don't have that much of time. I need to have my dinner as well because I'm in my college. It closes soon. Yes. So before I end, also I will just give. I need to inform something. Swati, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
I'm
I
here.
need to mention about hacker rank, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So let me share my screen. Share this tab instead. So can you see this new screen? Uh, yes. Now I think you guys can see. So this is the
Yes, sir.
HackerRank website. So here the questions we're going to give, the challenges, something which you might have which you might have got from the operational team. So the questions will be available on this platform. So you need to just sign up using your IIT Madras email ID and ensure that your username has your roll number. If it already has your roll number, then it's fine. Otherwise, if it only has some name or some your nickname or something, try to edit. Otherwise, it becomes harder for them also to make the leaderboard, right? They should they should have a mapping from your name to your roll number, something of that sort, right? Just sign in using your IT Madras email ID and ensure your roll number is there in the username. Yes. Yes, I will share the URL for HackerRank. You can just search it also. It's a very popular platform. If somebody is asking conclusion of the lecture is basics of a programming language. The topics are not final. See, I couldn't do so many topics. You guys were asking me, right? So we just talked about operators, keywords, variables, some string manipulation, and type conversion. Mostly that. Yes, yes, I will share it. I will share it with the operation team.
So, but when are we supposed to join on this
You can
hacker rank
join today.
platform?
So you can just log in. After that, you will get the challenges.
No,
Yes,
why
yes,
we
yes.
have
So
to join
actually,
this?
after each lecture, you will get some questions which you can solve and practice whatever we have done today, or like in that lecture, right? So you will get those questions which you can solve on this platform. This platform allows you to write code, and it helps us also
Okay.
to check your
Sir,
assignment.
when we have next class?
Next class is on Sunday, 9th February. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I guess timelines are being shared on main group, right? If you guys have not registered yet, do register and join that group. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have
Thank you,
any
everyone.
deadline thing for this
Thank you.
hacker?
Yeah, like for each questions that we will be asking after each session. For example, today is 7th of Feb. Then we will be ending this on 9th of Feb by 7 p.m.
Can I just know how are we supposed to find the questions on HackerRank?
Okay, we will be sharing the we will be sharing the questions link as well on that group only. There you can go and sign up with your student mail ID. Then you have to answer them. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Can you please paste the link of that group here?
Okay, you haven't joined yet. Okay, we will be posting
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Swati, we should change our name to our original name, or you want us to be it to be as our email? I mean, the roll number.
You have to like sign up on this HackerRank with your IITM mail ID, or you can change the username to your original name. Okay,
Yeah, I have done
because
logging in
yeah,
using the email ID. I'm asking whether I should change my name to any other name, or it should be the normal name, whatever is coming up on the screen.
you have to change your username with the same name that you have with your IITM mail ID.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there any WhatsApp group regarding it?
Yeah, there is. Like you have to
Okay.
do the registration first, then you will get that link also.
Okay, one more thing. Can we get the notes of today's session?
Yeah, it again will be shared on that group only.
Can I get the link of that form? Like, I don't have this.
Okay, I'm pasting it here only. Then we
Yeah,
will
thank
end it.
you. Okay.
Okay. Any doubt? If you guys have, do ask. Okay, what's up?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Do
everyone.
we need to create an account in this HackerRank?
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Then only you will be able to give that test.
When will be question share?
Question will be shared by today. Uh, Hopefully it will be by 11 or 11:30 p.m.
Okay.
Is it necessary to do these things?
Yeah, it is necessary because you if you are attending the lectures, it will not be helpful for a long way, right? And if you are going to do the practice for that all questions, then it will help you along in a long way.
In HackerRank, my profile there in my profile name there is no mail like roll number. Should I can't add now.
Have you met your have you did the sign up on HackerRank?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with which email ID?
student.
Student mail ID.
Student mail ID. Then in the profile section you will find the username.
Yeah.
Huh.
There is no like in name there is no roll number. It's just my name.
Okay,
Is
you
it?
have
It's okay.
mentioned your name. So go and change your name with the roll number. Okay. You can change the username with your roll number. Okay.
So you basically want our username to be names and I mean roll numbers and not our names, correct?
Yes.
Got it.
Because we are thinking of providing the leaderboard also, right?
Got it.
It will help us to get your ID as well from there.
So first name will be our roll number and last name will be empty, correct?
Okay. No issue for that.
But it's not
Your
accepting last
name,
name to be empty.
But where do we find the questions that you have given?
in the WhatsApp group itself, I have sent the form. See in the chat box. From here, you can register and join the WhatsApp group. Okay. You have to register first from here through this link, and there you will find that WhatsApp link group also.
It is
Okay.
asking the first name and last name. What should we do? Sorry.
In last name, you can mention your own name also. No worries for that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You have to mention the roll number only there in the first name.
Do you know something about the offline paradox?
Offline paradox, we will discuss about that in any
Yeah,
another.
but I need a date's confirmation. Is it of June 5th and 8th? 5th to 8th?
I don't think that dates are being decided yet.
Yeah, it is 5th to 8th June.
Okay.
Mom, inside after signing up on this hacker rank, where do we find the questions that you all have to do?
Okay, questions are going to be posted in WhatsApp group itself. You have to register first. From there, you will find the WhatsApp group also. WhatsApp group link, invite link will be there. I have shared the form also,
Mom, I've already
registration form.
joined the WhatsApp group, but the questions will come on that WhatsApp group only.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any doubt? Lefting out?
The first name should contain only the roll number.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hope you all have enjoyed well and also learned well. So let's meet on 9th of Feb. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir and ma'am. This was a great.
And do
Thank
solve the questions also that we are going to post it there. Okay.
you. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Thank
We
you.
will be maintaining the leaderboard as well. I guess if the participants will be more, then we will be mentioning first 25 students' name in the leaderboard.
So
Okay.
for now, it is top 10 only.
Yeah. Depends
Okay.
upon your submission and all.
Okay. And will the leaderboard be public on HackerRank only?
Yeah, it will be shared on WhatsApp group as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
once again.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you.